Our next group is the Red Cross, and in that group we have Jared Hoffman, we have Natalie Adams, Nate Hagan, Melissa Stevenson, and also Heather Lancaster. So good luck, guys.
Appreciate that. Good morning, everyone. We recognize your commitment to the Leadership Hopkinsville program by your attendance here today. It is because of people like you and your desire to see Christian County be of the best places to live, work, and play that we are able to present to you our chosen nonprofit organization with international reach. Like you, this organization makes a difference in the lives of others every day. For over 130 years, Americans have been helping people in need under the banner of one of the most recognizable symbols in the world, the Red Cross. What started as a group of 15 people under the leadership of Clara Barton in 1881, the American Red Cross has metastasized into one of the nation's premier humanitarian organizations, coordinating approximately 500,000 volunteers and over 30,000 employees every year. You will learn today that through the compassionate efforts of these volunteers and employees, families next door, across America, and in fact throughout the world, are touched by the Red Cross when in their greatest time of need. The Red Cross supports our members of the military and their families, provides international relief and development, offers blood collection, processing, and distribution, provides health and safety education and training, and supports people affected by disasters throughout America and in fact the world.
Like Jared said, Red Cross has such a strong presence across the globe that its name is known to billions of people throughout the world. This impact is shown in the most recent financials provided on its website. In 2013 alone, funds were used to give urgent assistance to people in over 24 countries, continue to help 4.3 million people in Haiti rebuild their lives from the 2010 earthquake, help vaccinate more than 98 million children against measles, continue to invest in disaster preparedness through education, and help reconnect nearly 900 families separated by international war and disaster. Each year there are multiple silent disasters that never make news headlines. Red Cross helps meet the urgent needs of some of the most underserved communities that are affected by these silent disasters by providing relief supplies, financial assistance, and disaster response teams. There are initiatives that have spanned over a decade, one being the Measles and Rubella vaccination campaign. Launched in 2001, along with other partners, the initiative has helped vaccinate 1 billion children in more than 80 developing countries. Some high-profile cases in the news media of the past year have consisted of the conflict in Syria and the Ebola outbreak in West Africa. Medical care, food, water, sanitation, and health education services have been provided to refugees in Syria. Delegates and volunteers for Red Cross have set up medical clinics in West Africa to help those with Ebola and have led disease prevention education and awareness efforts to the local citizens. One of the Red Cross's international programs that intrigued me most was the Restoring Family Links program. This program is focused on reconnecting families who have been separated by war, disaster, or conflict, and has helped thousands of people so far. A touching story I read described a man from Germany who had been living in California for the past 64 years and had been separated from a childhood friend for almost 75 years since World War II. After searching for nearly 10 years, the Restoring Links program was able to reunite the two friends in 2012. It's these small stories that make you realize what a profound impact the Red Cross has on so many people throughout the world.
A well-known service of the Red Cross is the Life-Saving Blood Program, or the 5-step process of donating, processing, testing, storing, and distribution of blood. The Red Cross blood program began in 1940, and today it receives approximately 5.6 million blood donations a year. That's approximately 40% of the nation's blood supply, and allows them to service over 2,700 hospitals and medical facilities. Although those numbers are impressive, the need for blood is huge. At the typical blood transfusion, the recipient will receive 3 pints. A severe burn victim can require up to 20 units of plasma. A single victim in a serious car accident can require up to 100 pints. Nationwide, around 43,000 pints of blood are needed every day. A donor, however, provides only a single pint at a donation. Blood cannot be manufactured or reproduced, so the only way to provide it to those in need is from generous donors. The donation process is quick, simple, and relatively painless. After registering and a quick physical, the donation lasts 8 to 10 minutes. Afterward, snacks are available. Donors are eligible to donate every 8 weeks. Unfortunately, there's usually a shortage of blood. Millions of Americans are eligible to donate, but it's estimated that less than 10% actually do. It's estimated that if 1 percentage point more of the eligible population would donate blood, that blood shortages would be eradicated for the foreseeable future. How can you help? Simple, be a blood donor. Or if you're like me and a little squeamish at the sight of needles, you can plan and host a blood drive at your employer. 80% of blood given in the United States comes from community blood drives around the country in communities just like ours.
Thank you, Nate. So many jobs today now require up-to-date life-saving skills because they address health emergencies that occur each and every day. People such as healthcare providers, first responders, lifeguards, teachers, and babysitters are entrusted with precious young lives that could require aid on a moment's notice. Those of us who don't face health emergencies every day can also benefit from Red Cross training. With a wide array of lifeguarding, babysitting, and water safety courses that the Red Cross offers, you can get the training and skills you need to prevent, prepare, and respond to all emergencies. As you know, emergencies can come in many shapes and sizes, some man-made and some acts of nature. While it is impossible to control every outcome, education and training can help you feel more prepared and confident that your loved ones will have the skills that they need to cope. So now let me ask you, would you know what to do for a bee sting or a burn? And another question, would you know what to do in case of a fire in your home?
What kind of disaster can affect you, your family, your friends, neighbors? Think for a moment about what disasters, either natural or man-made, that have affected or impacted you somehow. You've read about them in the Kentucky New Era, or on the internet. You've heard about them on the radio and seen them on the news. Snow and ice storms, Carter. Tornadoes, floods, all kinds of acts of God. Man-made disasters like house fires can be just as catastrophic. There are over 100 house fires every year in our region. In a blink of an eye, someone you know, or even you, can lose everything. Everything. This happened to someone in this room, one of our classmates. You will hear today some of the story of one of our classmates who lost everything. His family escaped a house fire that consumed their home with no time to think. Just time to act, to escape. They escaped with the clothes on their backs, their pet frog, and a singed stuffed animal, nothing else. When we learned about Terrence's story, we were taken back at the positive impact the Red Cross had on his darkest hour. They provided him with a comfort kit and a $50 gift card so he could buy essentials to make it through the night. Despite the fact he is on a competing team today, he graciously agreed to share his story because he has a reverence for the Red Cross and what their presence at his greatest time of need meant to his family. Please welcome Terrence and thank him for sharing some of his story with us.
Well, Terrence, where were you when the fire started?
Well, we were actually, it happened Black Friday 2008. After a long day of shopping, we returned home. My wife and I, our kids were at their biological father's house. My wife and I had laid down and getting ready to watch Andy Griffith like we do every night. And I smelled fire. So I went to our laundry room and opened the door, and the wall where the dryer is was ablaze. And as soon as I opened the door, the oxygen from the rest of the house It just went up everywhere, the whole room's on fire. We're panicking, so we grab our frog. We get our shoes that are at the door, and we leave. And by the time that the fire department got to where we live at, we live in Crofton, we're homeless. Myself, my wife, 3 kids, a frog, nowhere to live. So Salvation Army, the American Red Cross helped us out tremendously. They provided vouchers for clothing, food. They put us up in a hotel for the night. I have no idea where we would be at, how we would have gotten through that night without the American Red Cross.
So after having been a recipient of their services, what are your general feelings, or what would you describe as your relationship with the Red Cross?
American Red Cross is one of the most important nonprofits to me that's around. It saves lives, it helps people in serious situations. It helps save our family.
Thank you, Terrence.
When you think of the American Red Cross and its relationship with the military, what comes to mind? For me, it was the emergency contact system. This system connects families with service members who are deployed to relay information such as a birth, a severe... This service is just one of the many the American Red Cross offers to military personnel. The American Red Cross is continually changing what they provide to fit the changing needs of our military and their families. We all know the stories of soldiers who have been deployed to various conflicts around the world and heard of the physical and mental stressors they face. As I read through the heartwarming stories and the testimonials, I discovered a common denominator: volunteers. Volunteers for the American Red Cross express a sincere compassion, kindness, and unselfishness as they continually serve veterans and active duty soldiers in some capacity. I'd like to share a small excerpt of a soldier's firsthand experience what the Red Cross can do. Sergeant Michelle Woods, who was stationed in Iraq in 2010, described the work their unit was doing as being very labor-intensive, morale being at an all-time low, relentless heat, nothing to look at but sand, and a strong feeling of homesickness. The unit was surprised one day when they returned from maneuvers to find a Red Cross volunteer and her Red Cross German Shepherd, also known as a comfort dog. The sole purpose of the dog being there was to lift the spirits and the morale of the soldiers by simply allowing the soldiers to pet and hug the dog. And Sergeant Woods said the dog did just that. She went on to say it was so comforting seeing a pet there after going so long without seeing anything other than camels. Not only did it remind me of a home in a wonderful way, it seemed to fulfill this emotional void I had. I can't believe this woman left the comforts of our country just to volunteer her time to support the troops in this hellhole. She must be a saint. I wondered if she and the dog knew how much I appreciated their visits, because no words could truly describe how grateful I was. The positive impact the American Red Cross has made on our military in the last century is immeasurable. Comfort dogs with their trainers are just one example of adapting to change. These volunteers travel all over the world to bring happiness and a piece of comfort to soldiers and veterans. So no matter how big or how small, or whether it is in a foreign country or at a local veterans hospital, the American Red Cross continues to touch the life of service members and their families.
While the American Red Cross touches many, many lives throughout the United States, it's the positive healing impact on our soldiers, our heroes, that has led us to our chosen program today. The definition of hero isn't specifically limited to our soldier, but also to the soldier's family. Our program supports both. This is Eve. Natalie's good girl. And Eve's gotta go. How did you feel when you saw her come in? Kind of made you happy? What about when you touched her? Make your heart feel good? That was a brief touch that lightened your day right now. What we're wanting to do is to bring Eve to our soldiers, to our wounded veterans. The Pet Therapy Program provides a dog and handler volunteer team for canine-assisted therapy to a soldier in rehabilitation Visits are made to the Wounded Warrior units, and teams participate in ceremonies to either welcome home our troops or say farewell at deployments. Research studies have proven that animal-assisted therapy programs are effective in promoting health and wellness by helping individuals heal physically, cognitively, spiritually, and psychologically. I think you all saw that just for your brief interaction with Eve this morning. To become a pet therapy team, the dog and handler must attend training for 8 weeks, 1 day per week, and then pass a test to receive their Good Canine, Good Citizen certification. Each team is required to make a minimum of 10 visits per year with very little restrictions on when. Day, night, weekends, doesn't matter. The need is great and the results are overwhelmingly positive. The cost for the training is $100 per dog and handler team. If the selection committee chooses to award the American Red Cross with the most prestigious award, yeah, I'm sucking up a little bit, it should be known that an anonymous corporation has agreed to match that purse. So that's 20 dog and handler teams that we will employ at Fort Campbell to help our wounded vets when they come home to reacclimate. Imagine the impact that we can make. This equates to a team visiting a soldier and making a difference every Monday through Friday, every week of the year. Sweetheart. I feel better. We and our heroes are asking for your vote this morning. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Can we have another big round of applause for the Red Cross? Very nice. Thank you, Terrence, for your testimony. We appreciate that too. That actually concludes our presentations this morning, so we do appreciate the leadership board, the individuals that are representing of the organizations that our leadership participants are a part of. We thank the agency representatives as well, and we appreciate all your support. Thank you. Have a great day.